So next you're going to find this round long box, and it's going to have your light stand. So same thing as before, we're going to remove all of the pieces. So once you've removed everything from the box, you're going to want to locate the long and narrow rod. This is going to be placed on the side holes of your feet, preferably the back ones. You're going to do this for both of the feet. Make sure they're pushed in there nice and snug, and then you're going to locate the fat and short rod, and this is going to go into your center hole on your feet. Do this for both sides. Grab the adjuster, unscrew it, and take the slightly narrower rod and feed it from the bottom up like you see here, and then push that into the previous rod. So unscrew it, push the other rod from the bottom up, and then place it into the slightly fatter rod like you see there. And we're going to grab this 90 connector with the hook faced upward. We're going to push that down on top of the previous rod, and you're going to want to make sure that hook is faced upward because these holes have different depths. And if it's not placed the right way, it's going to be too short at the top, and we don't want that. So the last one is our fat and long rod, and that's going to go onto the top connector like you see here, pushed in nice and tightly. And once you've done that, you are done. Next, we got our lights. So same thing as before, let's unbox everything. So this tube right here holds all of your light bulbs. So be very careful taking them out. You'll take off the cap and you'll see that there's 4 light bulbs in there. And then carefully pull these out. So on each one of these fluorescent tubes, there's a little plastic protector that keeps these prongs from being bent or damaged during shipping. So just pinch them tightly to remove them, and then we'll start installing them into the lights. So you're going to have it where they're pointed up and down, and place it on both sides. Once you have them placed, carefully turn just a quarter of a turn. It will keep turning if you go too far, so you can spin it all the way around, but it has to be with the prongs turned flat with the ground in order for the lights to turn on. So we're just going to do that for the rest. So next we want to add our carabiners onto our light stand. So you'll look, and there's a little lever that you can pull down, and it lets you pull this out. Now you want to pull this out so you're a little further than the top of your light stand to the ground if you're going to do this by yourself. Once you get to this point, you're going to wrap the long rope hook around itself and then lock in. And do that for both. Now, we're going to take our lights and we're going to hook them up to these hook ends. And then we can take the other cord and start hanging our lights. Helps to kind of separate the cords, of course, so that your lights stay nice and centered in the stand. And there you go. Now if you ever need to drop them, the same thing, but just make sure that you hold the lights, because when you pull down on this lever, it's going to want to drop. So you want to make sure that it doesn't drop on you too far. So next we're going to move on to our timer. So it is a 24-hour clock, and it's got little nubs that you can push up and push down. So to start off, there's a little red switch on the side. This is always on. That is using the timer. You then turn this clockwise until we get to the current time. Right now it's noon, so we'll set it up for noon. And then you want to push down for all the times on. So we're gonna do from 18 hours on, so we're gonna go from 10 o'clock at night till from 6 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night. Actually, till midnight. We're gonna push down all the way around till we get to midnight. Then plug it in and plug your lights in. Finally, place the system under the lights with the rod in between the reservoir and the legs.